Are you feeling a little guilty for either working too much or spending too much time away from work? So, this elusive balance between work and life is a constant struggle, especially as women when we have so much pressure on ourselves to perform in our businesses, in our careers, while also taking care of so much at home. But that idea of harmony that you're looking for hopefully isn't as far off as you think. The important and missing piece is that you can give yourself credit for everything that you're doing and try to release the shame and guilt along with that. Because realistically, that shame or guilt is often the thing that's helping you feel imbalanced in everything that you're doing. So if you're investing that time and work, but feeling guilty about not spending it elsewhere with your relationships, partnerships, family, then it can feel imbalanced because you're feeling that shame. Same thing on the opposite side. If you're spending time in your friendships, your relationships, your loved ones, but you're not spending the time on work that you should be, then it's drawing from the enjoyment of actually spending time with them while simultaneously committing you to the emotion that work is actually negative because you're not doing it at the time that you should be or that you're supposed to be doing it. So here's what you're looking for. You want to be able to balance life between the two. Now, there is no perfect way to invest your time that's going to hand this to you on a silver platter and say, yes, you're doing the perfect job of balancing work and life and personal and self-care and everything in between. But more so, what's important here is that you find the fulfillment and the presence of what you're doing. So you might have thought that it takes the sacrifice in order to find the balance, that something always has to get cut. But that's not necessarily true. I think this absolutely comes down to priorities. And if you can start to really think about your priorities, where do you fall on the spectrum of your priorities? I'm assuming pretty low, considering you've got business with clients and members and group programs and products that you got to get out into the world, content that you have to create, family relationships that you have to take care of, that you got to invest time, energy, resources into, and all the rest of life that is happening around you, which means that your health and well-being is probably last on the list. You, the center of all of this, your self-care, prioritizing you is probably the last thing that you're focused on. What if you actually focused on prioritizing you first, got your health and wellness in line, allowed yourself to practice the self-care to reinvigorate your energy that allowed you then to show up with more presence, more intentionality in everything that you're doing?